Has this lost all meaning now? Well, the answer is yes, because Skoda is taking a new design direction. It's an evolution which doesn't involve this logo. Now we know that there is a strong connection between this and that car, but a lot to talk about, especially with this new car, because it's the Enyaq, and I am going to tell you about both the Enyaq Coupe and the Enyaq SUV as well. So stick around, but meanwhile, like, subscribe and share the Echo Drive channel. There are so many changes to the SUV. First of all, this logo is gone. You now have the new Skoda lettering here, and that's not just all that's new about the Enyaq. There's so much more to talk about, especially the lights, the bumpers, but all that in the longer review. The cabin too has improved, but the 13-inch screen takes care of the infotainment system needs, and a very small 5-inch digital instrument cluster looks odd, but frankly, you don't mind it, as all the information needed is projected by the heads-up display.
The Enyaq is available in two battery capacities, 59 kilowatt hour and 77 kilowatt hour. By now, most of you might have said, oh, he's got it wrong. It is not that, but it is 60 kilowatt hour and 85 kilowatt hour. Now there's a big difference there, because 60 and 85 are the gross capacity, while 59 and 77 are the net capacity. I'll just give you a brief explainer on what that exactly means. Now the gross capacity, that is say the 60 and 85 bit, that's basically how much capacity or how much energy that battery pack can theoretically hold. And the net capacity or the usable capacity is basically how much energy can be drawn from that capacity to push the vehicle forward. Now if you need any more explainers on that, leave a comment in our comment section below and I'll get back to you.
With 282 bhp in its kitty, the Enyaq with the bigger battery is quick off the mark. In the AWD and the rear-wheel drive version, the acceleration is quick.
But 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is 6.7 seconds on both the versions. I mean, this one has an additional motor up front. That does not make any sense.
Well, the explanation is a rather simple one. So again, stay tuned for the longer version of the review. There's no doubting the ride and handling prowess of the Enyaq. It's quick on its feet and the suspension is tuned for comfort. So though they are 20-inch tires, there's plenty of grip on offer. And even in this rainy atmosphere, I was able to push the car in corners.
It's just that ADAS system keeps on interfering with what your input is. Because every time you try and hit a curve, it tells you that you're incompetent. You cannot do that. I will not accept it. And it starts interfering here. So there is an absolute judder that you see. I don't know if that captured it, but there is a judder. You're not doing it right. That means the car does not have any reliability quotient when it comes to me. And that hits hard, because a car is all about a human-machine bond. This one thinks it's more smarter than me.
While the India launch is still a few months away, there's still so much to tell. So let's get cracking. So if you've stuck this long, you certainly want to know more about the Enyaq SUV and Coupe. And trust me, I am not going to disappoint you, because there is so much more to tell. I will talk about the SUV first, because, well, the design elements are similar on both the SUV and the Coupe. So up front, you'll really see the Skoda lettering right here, which again replaces the badge. Now you also have some very functional bits to make it more aerodynamic. You have these air intakes where you see my hand going inside, very functional. Basically the air flows in, goes into the wheel arch. That helps in good airflow, and absolutely inside the wheel arch, the turbulence of air is lower, which again helps in aerodynamics. Now You have these air intakes as well right here, which again helps with the airflow. Of course, the aerodynamic quotient or the coefficient drag has certainly been reduced, which is why the coupe gets this and now the SUV gets this. So apart from that, there are these elements, especially the LEDs, these segmented LEDs, so to say. They look absolutely spectacular because that becomes a signature of the Enyaq. And then you have these bits as well. Again, you look it from afar and you'll quickly notice that it is an Enyaq coming there. A lot of muscle on the bonnet still. That again is very aerodynamically driven. Apart from that, this part here that I told you about, it's standard, and that is really good news. The profile remains the same. There are no changes in dimensions of the car. There are certain elements that are new though, like this chrome bit. It really stands out, especially when it comes to a car that is Olympia green. Makes a big difference. You also have that chrome element here too, which adds to that overall look of the car. What sticks out like a sore thumb is this part. Well, this is just plastic. Had it been glossy, had it been a little more enhanced, this would have just added a bit more flair to the car, which right now, it's not. Things are different on the coupe version though. The design is pretty much aligned to the SUV, but that sloping roof is the key differentiator. Because when it comes to aerodynamics, this certainly helps. And you also get a massive canvas at the back to showcase that Skoda lettering. Which one do you like more, the coupe or the SUV? Tell me in the comment section. There's a lot to like on the inside. And that's also because of the use of simply clever materials. You have this entire dashboard where there's soft touch material used throughout. And the variations of material, as you can see, makes it a bit more different. And you know what? It really has that essential quality when it comes to the materials used. It is deeply satisfying to see how well the interior has been made. Now you have good under thigh support as the driver and the passengers as well. Ventilated seats too are part of this. They are standard. So a lot to like, especially in this new car. There are buttons all around, the steering wheel, the center console. So that's very good from where I stand. Hearing those clicks is music to my ears. What remains is this 13-inch touchscreen infotainment system. It continues to be the same hardware, but there are changes when it comes to software to enhance the way things are. The buttons basically are a bit smaller than I thought it would be. It does react differently, but that is also because I have stubby fingers. But overall, the virtual or the kind of experience that you have has certainly been enhanced. The 5-inch instrument cluster is too small for my liking, but you think about it and you realize you don't need a bigger one. Everything that you want is already on the heads-up display. The rear seat space in both the SUV and the coupe is pretty much similar, but in the SUV you have good amount of knee room. Because of the sculpted front seat, you get good amount of knee room. You also get good amount of headroom as well. Again, there is a bit of a sculpted element here too. But if you think that there is not enough room for say 3 here because of this, well, the simply clever bit is that you can just remove it. That's what it is. You can just remove it and store it in the boot. So you have enough space here. You have a good amount of features for rear passengers as well. You then also have this, just makes it simpler, and the space is good enough. You have good shoulder room as well, and because of this panoramic sunroof, there's good amount of light that's coming in. But this panoramic sunroof is only available on the SUV. The coupe version gets a standard glass. So yes, this is openable, that is not. But now let's talk about how it is to drive. And I had to sample both the powertrains and also the rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive versions.
The all-wheel drive version is actually the fun one to drive because, well, the acceleration is quick and you really enjoy that kick in the neck when you accelerate. There you go. And it's quick. It's very quick. Yes, the 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is just 6.7 seconds on both, but the acceleration from 0 to 60 kilometers per hour is quicker in this one. And the logic behind that, which I told you earlier, logic behind all of that is, remember, there is an RS version coming. So why make this sportier than the RS? That's the kick line. That's what Skoda wants you to do. Wait for the RS.
But remember, there is a smaller version too, the 59 kilowatt hour.
The Enyaq is available in two battery capacities, 59 kilowatt hour and 77 kilowatt hour. By now, most of you might have said, oh, he's got it wrong. It is not that, but it is 60 kilowatt hour and 85 kilowatt hour. Now there's a big difference there, because 60 and 85 are the gross capacity, while 59 and 77 are the net capacity. I'll just give you a brief explainer on what that exactly means. Now, the gross capacity, that is, say, the 60 and 85 bit, that's basically how much capacity or how much energy that battery pack can theoretically hold. And the net capacity or the usable capacity is basically how much energy can be drawn from that capacity to push the vehicle forward. Now, if you need any more explainers on that, leave a comment in our comment section below and I'll get back to you. The smaller battery pack lacks the punch that the 77 kilowatt hour battery pack had. I mean, it's quick when it comes to initial acceleration, like, there you go, there's no dearth there. But after a point in time, it just tops out, and that's when the performance part does not really come into play. But it can't sustain it. But that gearbox does keep up with the revs that you have set. And it's very interesting how the company has managed to not make it sporty, yet make it look sporty. It is an ideal car for anywhere you want to go, even quick trips. It is just not sporty, that's about it. The ride is supple, it takes everything in its stride. Now, the roads here and the roads in India are pretty different, so we'll get a hang of what it feels like on Indian roads, but the suspension setup is on the softer side, so it will be able to handle all of that, all of those potholes that we have with ease.
In India, the Enyaq goes up against the Kia EV6, Hyundai Ioniq 5, BYD Sea Lion 7, and even the Volvo XC40 Recharge. Does it stand out? Well, on paper, there is much to like. But does it set the benchmark here? Not really, because cars like the EV6 and the Ioniq 5 have a lot in terms of tech to boast about. Skoda's play will be to bring the flagship model to India, and so the lower battery capacity will not make it. There is no confirmation on the AWD coming either, but the 85 with a rear-wheel drive would be the mainstay for India, because Skoda will be able to provide a powerful car and also price it right. 60 lakh rupees is what we expect it to cost, but if the smaller 59 kilowatt hour battery pack comes to the country, Skoda could go lower in terms of price, and that will showcase aggression, something that the brand has already done with the launch of the Enyaq. All I can do right now is wait to know more.